in for a show tonight, son.
Let's talk about the Demon Slayer finale. So Demon Slayer has reached its penultimate episode. We are at the finale of the Hashira training arc, and we're going to talk about it. So this season in general, people have been kind of split on what their opinions are of this season. Some people say it's completely unnecessary, that we should have just had this attached onto the end of the Swordsmith Village arc, or we should have had it be on the beginning of the next arc. I don't agree. I think it is a bit slower. I think that's by design, though. I think it's meant to give us this false sense of security before the big final arcs. So we have reached the penultimate episode, and we are here at the moment where we are at the meeting that will change the Demon Slayer world forever. So Muzan has arrived at the Ubuyashiki mansion. He is here, and if you are an anime only, I do warn you now, I am going to go into some spoilers, not about the final season or final movies, whatever that will be. We'll talk about that at the end, but no spoilers beyond chapter 139. So the next 3 chapters, I'm going to spoil. Everything beyond that, I am not going to spoil. So if you want a little bit of a spoiler, probably what we're going to see next week, you're fine. If you have not read past that, don't worry, we're not going to spoil it here. That'll be a discussion for another time. So we are at this meeting, and I am wanting to know, where is this season going to end? We know it's going to be about 60 minutes. Obviously, that'll be a little less with, commercial breaks in Japan and everything. So it'll end up, in my opinion, being right around probably 44 minutes, because the standard episode usually is around 22 to 24. This one being pretty much double the length, I'm going to guess it's about 44 to 45 minutes long. So it's about 2 episodes that we're going to get in one. And considering that most of this season, everything has pretty much covered 1 to 2 chapters at most, I think we are going to get 3 chapters in this final episode. Now, if you're curious to where this is at in the manga, this is volume 16. We still have a few volumes left. We go up to volume 23 in the series, so there is quite a bit of content left after this. But everything that I think we will see next week is in volume 16. So the next chapter that is right after the events we saw last time in the anime is chapter 137, Undying. This is pretty much just the meeting with Ubuyashiki and Muzan. It's a very good meeting, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details on that, but it is a fantastic moment. And I think this is going to really, I think they're going to go all out with the animation, the sound quality. We already saw some of that at the end of episode 7. I think we're going to get more of that going into episode 8. I think all of episode 8 is going to show pretty much the audience, hey, if there are the 3 movies coming, this is the quality you're going to get from those movies, and I think it is going to be amazing. So I am very much looking forward to how they do this meeting. I think it'll be interesting. We get some kind of inner monologue from Muzan here, and I think it'll be interesting to see how they do that. So I'm holding out hope that this is one of the best scenes in the entire show. But after this comes chapter 138, and this is a sudden turn. This is where pretty much everything takes off. So at the beginning of this chapter, the Ubuyashiki mansion is blown up, and we see that Ubuyashiki, his wife, and 2 of his children are killed. But in that explosion is caught Muzan. And because of this, we get the whole, pretty much a signal flare to all the Hashira. They need to come on. They go to the mansion, and they're able to confront Muzan very, very quickly. But before any of them can get there, Tamayo is there, and she does something insanely important for the rest of this story. And if you miss it, you'll probably be confused whenever it gets to the final movie. But she is able to have a potion or a medicine in her hand, and she is able to have Muzan absorb that. And that, in her hand, is a way that will make you become human again. It's what she's been giving Nezuko. And so now she's giving it to Muzan. And this is where it gets really interesting, because initially it does nothing. And so the Hashira arrive, they are able to knock his head right off his body, but it does nothing. He immediately regenerates, no issue at all. So they're all like, all right, what are we going to do? Because he's not there. But Ubuyashi already planned for this. He told them beforehand, I don't think he can die from just having his head decapitated. I think you're going to have to basically distract him, keep him in the sun until sunrise. And so this is pretty much, we got the game plan going. The next 12 hours pretty much is the end game. We have to keep Muzan at arm's length for the next 12 hours or it's over. If we lose him again, he'll find Nezuko and it'll all be over. So from here, we get just pretty much some back and forth. They try to fight him, but obviously they can't. All the Hashira are here at this point. We get a few more lines from Ubuyashiki, and then we go into our final chapter, I think will be a part of this final episode. Chapter 139, Falling. So Falling really has only one major part in it that I think is important, and it's a very important part. But Tanjiro gets to the fight. Everybody gets to the fight pretty much at this point, and this is where the Infinity Mansion comes into play. Muzan, well, he doesn't, but the Upper Moon 4 does. She puts everybody into the Infinite Mansion at this point. Muzan is able to hide now a little bit. Now, he can't hide forever in there, but everybody is basically sucked into there. He's away from the sun, at least. So here we go, where all our main characters are thrown into this mansion. Final battle's ready to go. But before our characters are all split up, Tanjiro and Muzan meet face to face. They're able to have that conversation. They've met once before, but they didn't really talk. So this is that full on, this is their, like, I'm going to get you, Tanjiro here. And I think this is where they cut. I think this is where our final moment of the episode will be. I think we'll get that Tanjiro that'll say, I'm going to kill you. Muzan will say his lines, and then we will cut. And then that will be the credits roll for season 4, the Hashira training arc, and we will be moving on into the Infinity Castle arc. So I am really looking forward to this. Now, I want to give my brief opinion on season 4 in general, and then talk about what I thought of the 7th episode, what I think will possibly be in the 8th episode that we do not see in the manga. So we have seen a few extra things. Obviously, we got more with Tengen this season, and we've got a few more with some other characters. I've mentioned it before that I'm kind of curious why they decided to give certain Hashira more time than others. Obviously, you know, Obanai did not get a lot. A few other ones did not get a lot, and I wish they would have. We will get more of them as we go forward. It'll be very rushed because everything is fast-paced moving forward. There is no slow time from now on. But I am curious, like, why did Tengen get so much time? You know, it's just small things like that. I do think everything with Guillaume and everything moving forward from that part, I think was great. I think it's all been done very well. But you could tell with all of that from before that back is kind of that TV show quality. But then there is like this turn about halfway through episode 7, and I think it's very noticeable to where you see the quality of this show suddenly like turn up a notch. Like you took it from like a medium to a high. And I think that is them showing off this is what the movie's going to look like. Everybody knows this. There's memes about it. That a animated TV show versus an animated movie from the same series looks much, much different. And I don't think it's going to be like Mugen Train. Mugen Train was, yeah, it was made as a movie, but it was also planned to be into a TV show. And I think that's the same case with this next arc. But I think the case here is that they are really going into the budget on this one. I think the success of Mugen Train in theaters, I think the success of some of these preview events have shown them that a movie scale project for Demon Slayer can not only be a fantastic success in Japan, it can be a major success worldwide. I mean, look at the US box office for 2020. Demon Slayer like dominated. Now, obviously 2020 is a very, we know what happened in 2020, but still, it's showing that they were up there. They were going to be a threat no matter what. They showed basically the worldwide audience, hey, anime can be taken seriously. And I think this showed the Demon Slayer producers, hey, we could make these 3 films to end off the series. We could make them insanely well animated and then get the buzz going around them, and people will go in droves to watch these movies. And I think that's what's going to happen. So I think in this final episode, we're going to get a lot of good lighting. I think I'm very curious to how this explosion will look. I think it can be really like well done because of, you know, we don't really ever find out. We know it's the spikes and everything causes it, but I really would like to see more of a detailed explosion. Really show us that, expand that scene. Instead of just being one panel in a manga, we can really like see the chain reaction of the explosions. I think that would look really cool. And to see like the shrapnel flying at all the Hashira that's coming in, I think that'd be really cool. I think that's going to get us really, you know, tense moment, and I think it can be really, really well done if done right. And I have a lot of faith that they can do this. So anyway, that is about it. Like I said, I think there's going to be 3 chapters in this final episode. I'm going to talk about this on my podcast here in about 2 weeks, because this coming week I won't be able to, but the next week I will talk about it. Or if something crazy happens and they announce something new, then I will be back and I will talk about it next Wednesday with you then. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. What do you think will happen in this final episode? Have you read the manga, or are you saving it and trying to keep yourself non-spoiled? And if so, why are you here? Because I just spoiled everything for this next 3 chapters. But anyway, you still got a lot of material left to come, so don't worry, there's plenty more to come. So anyway, what are you looking forward to this next episode? And anyway, I will see you guys next time. Bye.